Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown. We're here with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta. Welcome back, guys.
Hey.
That's a clean one right there.
I think we all kind of right there at the same time. It's a good one. How was y'all's weekend? We didn't have any games happening, but how was your weekend otherwise?
Pretty good. I mean, pretty sad about football.
Yeah. Did you guys watch the game last night?
Did.
I watched HBO on my big screen and had the game on one of my computer screens and just sort of kept a side eye on it.
So I think last night was another example of we don't need to expand the playoffs. We just need to find who's going to be the next punching bag for Alabama each year.
I saw an article that basically said this is like Alabama's complete and utter dominance is a reason to expand the playoffs, because it's like, well, like we're just going to watch like 3 games of Alabama just destroying whoever they throw, you throw up against them. At least you put some other people in there, you give them a shot.
Well, you just give like Alabama like a 3-round bye to the championship and let everybody else duke it out to find out who's actually going to play them.
Yeah, well, I don't know how serious the article was anyway, because the other option was the NCAA just buys out Nick Saban's contract and tells him to retire.
I did not read that, but I saw some people talking about an article about that. Just how awesome that you're so good at your job that everyone else pays you to not do it. So they have a chance.
Get out of here, man.
Maybe they can do the same thing. We can get a TV show of just Belichick and Saban talking about what everybody did wrong every week in the college and NFL games.
Yeah.
I'd watch that show.
That sounds really just that's either going to be a very, very, very good show or a very, very, very terrible show. And I don't know which one.
Well, you could definitely put it on to go to sleep, because I don't think the inflections would change at all. That monotone type, just dragging needs to be out at no time. Yeah.
Belichick's like, as long as I can wear a sweatshirt or a hoodie.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Georgia State here. We actually have some breaking football news that came out just here a couple of hours ago before we started recording. So, Ryan, you want to get us started with what, since you have your finger on the pulse of Georgia State news, you know what's going on?
What are you talking about? I don't wait, is this the I don't want to take Tim's thunder because he brought it up in pre-show, right?
Yeah, Tim, run with it.
You're trying to give me Tim's thunder. He was the one that brought it up. Come on, man.
No, actually, I tweeted out that people could hear our take on this subject tonight and hear us surprise Ryan with the news, because he has no idea about it, most likely.
What happened?
Tim, you can go ahead and run with it.
We had a linebacker enter the transfer portal. Ryan.
Linebacker? You're saying like it's just some random third string linebacker.
I knew this. I knew this news. You jerk off.
Starting linebacker, obviously offensive. What's his last name? Strachan?
Strong.
Yeah.
Strong.
Okay. Cool. I didn't know how to pronounce it either.
I didn't either. All right. So
I'm not gonna lie. I actually did text Ben before we went on here. Like, how do I pronounce his name? Is it Strachan? It's like Strong. Oh,
because we're known for pronunciating, right, on this program.
Well, if I've not butchered your name, then you've not been doing well enough on the field, I guess.
Jamiest. I mean,
I still stand by Jamiest is the best name. But
yeah, so you for a bit.
The FBS sack leader, like all of FBS, the sack leader, Jordan Strachan, is leaving the program into the transfer portal, and it's got like some tomfoolery all over it.
Yeah, I'm sure some SEC team has nudged him and said, "Hey, what's going on? You want to come here?"
Yeah, he's going to. Yeah, I don't know if it's out there yet, but I think that he is going to a close by SEC school. So,
oh boy,
yeah, not in this state, however.
Okay, all right.
But in a fertile recruiting ground of our program, at least, South Carolina. I think he's going to South Carolina.
What? South Carolina is taking one of our people?
And Jordan's actually from Georgia. And,
wow.
And Jordan is actually from Georgia. So we're actually getting one of you guys we recruited from this state.
Why would you leave Georgia State to go to South Carolina? Like all the SEC schools to go to. I mean, I know there's a couple other ones that I would probably scoff at, but like South Carolina, what are you gonna do there? What are you gonna do?
His value has never been higher as a college player than it is right now, being the FBS leader out of a G5 program. I think that if he has aspirations to go to the NFL, which I mean, so many of these guys do, he's got to go and take that opportunity. I don't blame him. If you can get into,
I don't think you have to go. I don't think you have to go at all. He's the the number one. What is he? Number one in sacks or something?
Yeah, 10.5 sacks in the season. But I hear what you're saying.
He's gonna go anyway.
He can get into the NFL, by playing for Georgia State, no doubt about it. But if you want a chance to, put that draft stock as high as possible, you want to be seen by as many people as possible throughout the season. So I get it. I don't like it. And I think that you're going to see a lot more of this happen to G5 programs because of the new rule of not having to sit out a season. So the underhand part about it, you can't get away from. I'm sure that he was not actively looking to leave until he was, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. If you enter the portal, we will take you, which is kind of dirty and underhanded, but it's going to happen. There's no way that you can prove it. It's not, or that it is, right, or whatever. So,
I mean, I hate it for us. I hate it for the other G5s. I get it. Congratulations to him. He still could have, I agree with Ryan. He could have gotten the NFL staying here.
He actually might be hurting his NFL chances because his production at South Carolina might drop,
True.
It could very well drop. And like you said, being on, South Carolina of all SEC teams, it's not going to be the best, but hey, you see these P5 program kids getting drafted in the top 10 every year, and you want to be one of those guys because there's a big difference. If you're drafted in the top 10, I'm not saying that Jordan will. I have no idea about where he would go, but if you're looking at the top 10 versus even the second round, there's millions of dollars you've lost just in the first year.
But the NFL scouts are smart enough to know what a good recruit is, no matter where they're coming from. You have number one draft picks coming out of Central Michigan a couple years back, and a couple of other small schools. I don't think it matters in 2021, like what school you're coming from. They know skill. They know what they're looking for, and they're going to get it. So
get the combine and everything.
I don't think that matters.
It shouldn't matter, and I agree with you. But I think it's kind of hard to argue that same logic to a 19, 20-year-old kid. I've got no idea how old he is.
Well, South Carolina's got bagmen too, so don't forget about that.
They do, and I don't know what the I don't know what the co-eds are like at South Carolina, but in comparison to Georgia State, but yeah, all that kind of stuff plays into a guy. You feel like you can be a big man on a bigger campus type thing. I don't know. There's no reason why he should have left. He could have been successful here. I agree completely. But until Georgia State is, a dominant team in the Sun Belt, I think you're going to see stuff like this happen. And it's going to happen to the dominant teams as well. I mean, we've already talked about how I don't want to say dominant with Coastal. They've had this one season. But there was talk of their quarterback getting plucked up by somebody after this hell of a year they had. So you're going to see stuff like that happen more and more, but it sucks. But
yeah,
we do play South Carolina. We play South Carolina in 2 years. We will face off against him unless he goes pro before then. But I think he has to play 2 more years before he's eligible to go into the draft. So we'll see him in 2 years up in Columbia.
Maybe
and remind me of that headline. Remind me of that headline in 2 years, because I'll forget that he was here.
Yeah, hey, David, I got you on that, man. I will definitely remember that.
Put that in your reminder.
Your to do. Speaking of South Carolina and playing them, not really. I wasn't going to bring this up other than this, but Western Kentucky's defensive coordinator left to go to South Carolina for the same job. So, after our performance against Western Kentucky in the bowl game, I'm looking forward to that 2022 matchup against the Gamecocks.
Wasn't everybody making fun of their defense this year? Didn't everybody say their defense sucked the whole year?
Or were they making jokes about how ineffective the offense was? I feel like the offense was the big butt of the joke for
Oh yeah, I think I have it reversed, but I think I have it reversed because in our game they both sucked. So
well, no, they didn't suck. We just overpowered them completely.
We're just that good, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. They had a complete game of sucking.
Yeah, Coach Elliott, from what I hear, also is pretty livid about Jordan taking off, and understandably so. I mean, you've got a dominant player like that on the team. It's going to suck losing that power. So Yeah,
I wasn't thinking we'd lose anyone. I don't know. I was thinking like some of the upper echelon teams in the Sun Belt would lose some players. I was thinking it would be okay this year. Maybe next year if someone shows more flashes or he had another fantastic, outstanding season that he might go. But
yeah, I would. It'd been great if he would have stuck around and continued this kind of dominant performance. We may have had our first round draft pick coming out of Georgia State as a defensive player when we've been bemoaning our defense with the past 4 years.
Not this year though, but that might have been Jordan's fault.
They pulled it together in the end. Let's just ignore the Arkansas State and the Coastal games.
Yeah, let's ignore them.
That's all I got.
Outliers. So there's that.
That's all I got for football. I wasn't even going to talk about football at all until that news came out earlier today or this evening. What I want to talk about is how bummed out I was on Friday morning when we found out that once again hit by the COVID bug and the basketball team was not going to be able to play at Troy.
Did anybody test positive or was it all contact tracing? I
do not know. I don't know if anything has even come out about what happened or how serious it was. And we still have no clue about what the game is going to happen like on this weekend with Coastal, whether or not those are going to happen. I think we're supposed to hear something Thursday or Friday about that, but I was bummed. I mean, so I guess I got my hopes up that everything was good again in the sports world, at least considering that, we had that Charlotte mix up at the beginning of the season. We find out that was just a mistake and we played our entire season. No real problems there. And I was just looking forward to another Georgia State games to watch on Friday and Saturday. I was bummed. It really brought me down. I was just moping around the house on Friday and Saturday.
It brought me down because I didn't know it for a while. I was like some marathon meeting at work, and then all of a sudden I look up and I see that our games are canceled. I'm like, damn it! I was looking forward to that. I was going to stop working so I could watch our game.
And then you decided to end up working all night long.
But now our super secret athletics site did post that it was multiple COVID-19 positive test results impacting our school. Individuals on the team.
Yeah.
Including student athletes, coaches, and support staff.
So if that's the case, then it could be very possible that, based off how many days they've got to wait for something, that unless there's a couple of negative tests between then and this Friday, that we could be missing out on another set of games this weekend. But I'm going to go into it believing that we're hosting Coastal. I prefer to be more positive about everything. I don't want to be negative about it. Being negative about it is going to ruin my week. And I'm going to be positive that we're playing Coastal and look forward to that and everything.
It does say that activities are paused for a minimum of 7 days, and those affected will remain in isolation. So, 7 days is obviously Thursday, so we'll see what they say. Hopefully we're playing, fingers crossed.
Hopefully, but I'm actually kind of also curious about is, do we make up these Troy games? We've got a pretty tight conference schedule. I mean, we're playing basically every Friday and Saturday.
We did talk about that a little bit over text, right? I mean,
right. So, and I have a new idea. So originally I said when we were talking, we just could play like a Monday. I mean, Troy, out of all the teams for us to have to not be able to go to and play, Troy is the easiest one for us to try to make something up. That's a day trip. I mean,
right.
You could go down there easily. You could go there and back on both Friday and Saturday if you want, or whatever. I was thinking maybe a Monday or Tuesday. That's 4 games in 5 days. But I also had another idea. We do play Troy back here later on in the season, and maybe we reschedule those games and these 2 games to kind of move them in the middle of the week. So, coming out of I think it's the Southern game we have there. So maybe wait a couple of days to kind of, fresh legs. And then we do the Troy games, a couple of days off, and then we play the games here against Troy, and then a few more days off to go on to whoever we have next in the series. It means we're moving home games, and they've already moved home games. But I'd be okay with that if it gives the guys a little bit more time for their legs to get fresh and be cool with everything.
So you're thinking like a Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Something like that, yeah. So they finish up with Southern on Saturday. So you have Sunday off, Monday off, have a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then just do something similar later in the week.
Just make it wacky, man. Do a doubleheader. Just
have the coaches agree to have we won't play any bench players in the first game, and we'll play only bench players in the second game.
8 a.m., 8 p.m., 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Do it.
I love it. I'm in. Let's go for it. get Coach Lanier on the line here. Make it happen.
I'm sure he's again. I'm curious what he's thinking. Like, how do we schedule this? How do we make this up? I can see the ladies are making up their series with Troy.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Looking on the website today, I saw that women who'd missed their games last week and 2 weeks ago, the first against Troy, or I guess it's past week against Troy, whatever. They're doing it, but they're doing 4 games in 6 days. Yeah, that's gonna be brutal. But at least if the women's games are making up, why wouldn't the men's try to do the exact same thing?
Yeah, obviously they're gonna have to work with Troy to figure out, when they want to actually get this done, right?
Well, we're just fortunate that we're talking about a school that's a couple hours away versus Appalachian State or something like that, where it's a much longer trip, harder to get to, where we can make something like that happen. Like, we could literally drive the team down to the game back and forth each day, and it would not be too taxing on anybody. So
sure, good point.
Yeah, so that was a bummer. We got Coastal Carolina Part 2 coming up this Friday and Saturday, which I believe is going to happen. I really need it to happen.
I need it to happen.
Has there been any kind of indication on social media or otherwise?
Just questions being asked, okay. How soon are we going to be able to know something? And I think the word is Thursday or Friday that before we know anything. I say I need it to happen, but it's our first home games, and I can't even go to them.
It's a must-need game for you, David.
Why can't you go?
My wife's birthday is Saturday.
Take her.
Well, I only have 1 ticket, so no, she does not. If I had more tickets, I'd be better off if I volunteered to go to the game with the kids to give her some time just to hang out at home by herself.
Look, bring her, sit with Mac on the sideline, and you are courtside, and then you just let her sit in your seat.
She would be on her phone the entire time, playing games or just messaging people about how little she wants to be there. She just it's not that she has anything against the men's basketball team or basketball team. She just doesn't enjoy watching basketball. I get it.
No, I get it. I totally understand.
So it's bad timing. I blame the Sun Belt. I blame the Sun Belt because there's no reason why one team should start with 2 series at home back to back, and another team start 2 series away back to back. In this whole weird thing we have going on, not every team can start at home. I get it, but no team should be starting on the road back to back.
I think you think about scheduling more than anyone at our school or anyone in the Sun Belt.
I do think about scheduling quite because it seems like something so incredibly simple to me.
Yeah.
There's so many options where you can build things around to make it as balanced as possible for everybody. And and hear me out, you could just fill slots on a schedule randomly and be done with it. I feel like randomly you would have had more teams not going on the road 2 times in a row than we have in the Sun Belt. It's just
we would get the luck where we're away for 8 games in a row or something crazy. Right.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm sorry. It was random. Sorry, that's the way it happened. We don't have any home games at all. Sorry, it's the way it happened.
Well, the slots would be assigned home and away. All right, come on.
Yeah. Your home games are away. Sorry, guys.
Stuff like that. I guess maybe it bothered me more than it should, but it really does irk me. Especially when you have NFL schedules come out, and you'll have one team has 3 away game streaks in a row or stretches in a row. I'm like, who thought of this? I know that with college football, it's a little bit different because the school's able to make up 4 of those schedules, 4 of those games, and then the conference does the rest. I feel like the conference still finds a way to screw it up. Most of the Sun Belt schools get all their out-of-conference games in the first 4 weeks, so it's really like you've got an open palette to do the whole schedule. Still, the Sun Belt finds a way to mess everything up. Like, oh, cool, you're playing Alabama 1 week. Cool, we'll give you one of the toughest teams in the conference to play the very next week. No time off. Don't worry about that. I feel like the conference should be smarter about giving the schools the best chance possible to put the best product on the field, and they're not doing that. But then again, the Sun Belt commissioner is not doing crap for the conference anyways.
Right. I mean, I was going to say, I'm sure the Sun Belt commissioner has his favorites, and I'm sure
Whoa! That's a wild accusation.
Just like the SEC has their favorites.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, I would have said I would agree with you with Carl Benson that he had his favorites, absolutely for sure. I think this Keith Gill guy made us be completely inept.
He may just really not care about any of these teams.
Right. I'm just a figurehead. I'm here to cash a check.
I'm here to build my resume for my next gig, and that sinks a lot of people where they get into that attitude and then they kind of suck at their jobs, so they don't get hired.
Did you know the name of the commissioner was Keith Gill before I said it?
I mean, no.
Yeah. Either did I. I actually.
It sounds familiar. I mean,
definitely.
I've heard the name.
I had to look it up. I knew Carl Benson's name when he came in. Like I knew his name just because he was a lot more vocal about the conference. You saw him places. He was posting things. His name was just tossed around quite a bit. Keith Gill's been commissioner for, I think this is the second season now, and I literally had no idea what his name was.
Wasn't Carl Benson's daughter like a sideline reporter or something too? Was his daughter or some like his niece or something?
I think that sounds familiar. Yeah,
that sounds right. It sounds right. But there's been some criticism online on social media about how not vocal the Sun Belt as a conference has been, and Keith Gill specifically. The guys so Carl Benson may have been inept, but I think Keith Gill is just lazy.
Yeah, I think there was some pushback online about him making comments like we're separate from the P5. Basically, it's like, ooh, don't say that. No G5 school likes that.
Like I said, he probably just doesn't care.
Yeah,
he sees us as less than.
He referred to our division, like G5's division of football. No,
don't make it a thing. You know,
like if Saban wants to say that, let him say it all day long. He's earned the right to establish himself as in that program, and the P5s is better. The G5 program should never refer to themselves as a different division of football.
Saban's team is a cut above. Even he's like there's a G5 and then there's like the A1.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do. They need to create an A1 conference.
It's just Alabama by themselves.
Well, that's what I was trying to do before. You got just put Bama in the conference championship. Let everybody else try to play in. Figure out who gets to make it.
Who is the sacrificial lamb this year?
Yeah, there's a 16 or 17 team playoff. 16 teams figure out who's going to play the 17th team, which is Bama. Anyhow, so about the game this week, this is what game we wanted after going 1-1 in the first series. This is the series we wanted to see again. We'd get our guys back. Hopefully, Sosami and Toppin's back in there. Hopefully, all the players are healthy and can play. I think this could be a completely different game. They won their last two games. They played last week, and they won both of theirs against whatever crappy Sunbelt school they played against. And So I'm looking forward to us having like an epic beatdown of the Sea Chickens in the sports arena.
I mean, we need to make the ESPN basketball power index right. It predicts us to win like 75%. The first two games and these games, we have to back it up, man. We got to beat the Sea Chicken.
We got to make sure their math is right, show that they know what the hell they're doing. We're doing this for you, ESPN. We want to prove that you're right. It's nothing to do about our program. We just want to make sure that you're right. Yeah. There's not a lot to say about the game. We played them a couple of weeks ago. We're down a couple of guys. We're playing them again. Hopefully we're healthy. Hopefully we're playing them again, but I don't know. We all know what we saw 2 weeks ago. More of that. Hopefully a better performance on our side. But I am predicting if these games happen and we have Sosami back and Toppins, it's going to be a completely different game than we saw in Conway. I think it's going to be one of those fun games where Norm is posting everything on Panther Pride, like every single screen capture, every single tweet, everything's going to be blowing up on that page.
A bunch of messages without any context. What a shot!
That and the cover photo will probably change like 6 times over the course.
Well, it'll be that weird thing on his phone, that app that that features the team who lost or whatever.
I love that.
It's like, what are you posting, dude? It's like
this is the best
and it says like Troy or whatever.
Go Tigers! It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. What app are you using?
Ever.
If you don't know what we're talking about, the Panther Pride Facebook group run by Norm arm. One of the biggest Panther fans that I've come across.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's definitely worth joining. We did how many months of no Georgia State sports on the podcast, and somehow, some way, managed to have something to talk about Georgia State related. Every single day, he has 4 or 5 things. He finds something to talk about Georgia State every single day. So it's a good source for Panther fans.
Yeah, I'm curious if we can reproduce that Saturday game with Sosame in the lineup. As much as the team brought on that Saturday, like that could be a blowout if you could have that kind of performance, adding in that talent.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I want to see us go up 14 early and
then go up 28.
Never look back. Never look back. Like the game's never below double digits from that point on. Like that's the kind of games I'm expecting on Friday and Saturday out of this team. It's the kind of team that all the little numbers, support. Like looking at the RPI and the net, they both have
all the little numbers.
All
the little numbers.
Well, our number is so little. Like what is it? The RPI has our number is 8. This makes no sense to me at all. The rankings have Georgia State RPI 8 in the nation.
That's good, right?
Out of 300 and billion teams, whatever it is. Yeah.
What does RPI stand for?
Really, percentage integers.
Ratings percentage index. I don't know. What is it?
I mean, is that the ranking? Is that what that is? We're number 8 in the country?
RPI is a metric that was used for a lot of stuff before, and now they use the net ranking, which is a new formula for stuff. And in the net ranking, we dropped to 68 in that one. But even then,
well, that sounds more accurate,
and that's fine. What I look at the two rankings at is where they rank us in conference and how that compares, how we compare to our other peers or conference mates on the net and on the scores, whatever I'm talking about. Anyway, both of them have us the best by far in the conference.
Oh yeah, so, I thought you guys sent a screenshot that had one of those non-football schools ranked a little higher. Tim, I thought you sent something.
Yeah, Little Rock is ranked.
Little Rock
is ranked. So we're 8th in RPI. Little Rock's ranked 94th in RPI, and then that's a huge difference.
How are we 8? I'm not understanding that.
I don't understand it either. And actually, the site I went to, the real-time RPI or whatever it was, they don't even have all of our games in there. Like they don't have our 2. They have our schedule weird. I think it had us as 5-2 with no Sunbelt games played. I'm like, well, we have 2 losses, but one of those is a Sunbelt guy. Whatever.
Maybe they just gave up on the season. They were like, COVID.
I looked to make sure we're actually looking at this year's numbers.
Georgia State's 8. COVID.
Yeah, I looked at it too multiple times. I'm like, this is wrong.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
But on the net rankings, they still have Georgia State first in conference at 68, and then Little Rock's 135, big drop off. Coastal's technically second at 115, still a drop off. Like the only thing they have consistent in the rankings is Georgia State's number 1, and then you got like Arkansas State, Monroe, and Georgia Southern is like just the worst teams. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm down with that.
They do. They have us number 8. That's crazy, man. I had to check because I didn't believe you.
Well, when you were like number 2 at one point, I was like, something's broken. Like the internet broke. RPI is broken.
There's a glitch in the matrix.
Do we have like a plus 1,000 on our rating?
Maybe it's the crazy score against Tech.
I mean, and Tech's been doing a little bit better. I didn't go back and look and see what their season's like, but they have been actually getting some wins out there. So that's great for us, and I guess it's great for Mercer, but screw those guys.
Yeah, I think what I sent to the group text, I think, was Joe Lenardi's predictions. Obviously, they mean nothing in January, but he's got Little Rock entering the tournament, and Joe Lenardi has this historical, magical. He's always right, like 98% of the time when they do the selection show.
Yeah, but when you're in a one bid league,
but we don't matter.
When you're in a one big conference like we're in, all that really means is this is the placeholder for whichever team wins the conference. And I mean, he can think that Little Rock's going to win, but really we know that's not the case. We know Georgia State's going to win the whole thing. So I look at that and I see who they have the Sun Belt team against, and I think, oh, okay, they have Georgia State playing Kansas or Michigan. Kansas, I thought one I saw was, I guess, Little Rock playing Kansas. But,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't mean anything, obviously, but it's
weird.
nice to have them think we're going to win, right?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of
Or
times,
it's just like whatever Sunbelt team he saw win this past weekend is the one he put on there.
and I could see us dropping because we were predicted to be, we were that slotted in SBC team for the longest time, but then we don't play 2 games. So yeah, I get it. You know, they haven't played games. You know, if you don't play games, you can't play for a championship, said no Ohio State fan ever. So
I was about to say, and yeah, you can, because pretty much everyone in the Sun Belt gets into the tournament, right? Like everyone but the worst 2 teams.
I think it's everyone.
It's everyone now. I think some people missed it in the past, but have they expanded it to everyone?
Yeah, I think it was 18. The top 8 teams made it previously, and now because of this, I think they're putting in everybody because of like these missed games. They want everybody. They don't want someone to miss out on a conference championship chance because they didn't play, a few as many games as another team did. The problem with that is if you're really trying to be safe about this whole COVID stuff, which is a completely different conversation to have, is like, why are you sending 12 teams to all go hang out with each other versus the top 8, 6, 4, whatever it may be?
I still think they're doing the regional thing, like the people higher seeds host until you whittle it down.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I think at least the first round is
they're limiting the travel. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well,
but everyone's in. It's a big party, right? Everyone has a chance. Everyone could win. Anyone.
The regular season now literally means absolutely nothing. You still get buys, first, second round buys.
There are buys, yeah.
All right.
So you do want to kind of get in the top 2 of the East and the West, I think.
Yeah.
And they
get buys.
And we're playing by division schedules, but once we do the tournament, the divisions get wiped away, right? Then we look at the best, like 1 and 2 comes from the best of East, best of the West, but everything else after that is just kind of a hodgepodge. You could have 3 teams, 2, 3, or 3, 4, 5, and then from 1 division or something like that, right?
No, I think they're still keeping it East and West.
So they're gonna have 2 separate brackets. I felt like I remember seeing a lot of stuff they were talking about this schedule was that you would see teams in the conference, teams plural. You would see teams in the conference that you had never seen before. Well, if they're going to keep the brackets East and West, then I'm only going to see 1 team that I've never seen before.
Maybe,
and that's going to be the championship game.
They're mixing it together, but it's the top, like 3 seed West plays 6 team East. And actually, I take that back. They're changing this. It is all in Pensacola. They're splitting it between the Bay Center Arena and Pensacola State College. So it is a big party. Let's put all the teams down there. They won't party at all whatsoever.
Pensacola, spring break. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Woo!
I'm in. I have not gotten permission from my wife whatsoever at all, but I'm in. I'm going.
Yeah, all right.
We said we're going in March, right? Didn't we say that?
I'm probably not going.
No, we're going, man. We're in. I'll come pick you up.
David, you promised last March. Sorry. It's been written.
Well, yeah, I thought the world would be in a different state than we are right now.
Yeah, Florida.
Yeah, the games. So Ryan, I know the answer to the question. You're not going to the games this weekend. Tim, are you going to make an effort to make it down to Sports Arena?
Might be selling my tickets. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, John Weaver is driving us to Panama or Pensacola. You said spring break in Panama is now.
That'll be us in the back seat.
All right, John. As long as you're good with people having roadies in the back of your car, I know you just said I'm into. You didn't actually say you were driving us, but I took that to mean that you're driving us.
Oh no, yeah.
We've nominated you to drive. Thank you.
I'll bring a cheese board.
We're gonna be sitting there in the back of a car with a wooden block and trying to cut cheese.
John knows, man. We did it in the buses.
Oh yeah,
we had a whole charcuterie situation going.
That's it's fancy.
I saw somebody put on some social media, whatever, that a Lunchable is just a children's charcuterie board.
Oh my god! Did you see the reverse though, where he like took the board out and was like making it fancy?
Exactly, laying all the pieces of meat and cheese and crackers out and everything.
Yeah, I saw it.
It's an adult Lunchable. A charcuterie board is an adult Lunchable. Yeah, see, I don't have original jokes. I just steal things from the internet.
That's fine.
So
if they're good and no one else saw them, but like I saw that one, so
I just need to stop admitting that I'm doing that and let people think that I'm originally funny.
Yeah,
totally. I mean, I know that regular season doesn't matter, but I'd like to be a 1 or 2 seed, so we get at least one day off.
I want to be 1. There's no 1 or 2. I want to be 1. I want to win the East. I want to, and I want to have the best record in all of the Sun Belt going into it. I want to be the de facto regular season champion. So
I guess they're probably going to give someone the regular season champion, right?
They'd have to for the NIT bid, or at least the NIT would have to accept, just acknowledge someone.
It's the Sun Belt. Whoever's number 1 in each division will be co-champions.
Exactly. Well, I think the college football playoffs, they just acknowledged Coastal as the Sun Belt champion for their stats and numbers and everything, their placings. They just acknowledged Coastal was the Sun Belt champion, even though the conference acknowledges 2 teams as co-champions. But
the conference is wrong too. Maybe even more wrong than them for acknowledging Coastal.
Agreed.
Because Coastal is the highest ranked at the end. And I mean, it does suck, but maybe we just don't have a champion this year. Maybe you guys should have played the game.
Honestly, what should have happened is App State should have headed to Lafayette to play that game.
Well, what should have happened is App State's the champion already by default because they were champion last year.
Yes, no one is the last team to win a Sun Belt football championship.
And they agree with you.
Yeah, they're the reigning champions, and that's that. Because the Sun Belt's stupid and didn't play a game.
They could not let their little darling of the conference, Coastal, get ignored or pushed down by another team playing that championship game. They wanted Coastal to go out of the season staying ranked. And then the AP polls came out, the final season polls, and Lafayette and Coastal in the season in the top 25.
Did they?
Yay for them. And I think App State is like the fake 26 because they're the highest also receiving votes. So whatever.
Cool.
Yeah. So there was a few other basketball games last week. Arkansas State and Texas State didn't play because of COVID. Southern lost their 2 games to their one and only rival App, which is great. Ooh. And the only other game that it's worth talking about is what happened in Lafayette. Did you see this? Did you guys see this?
That's some shit.
Yeah,
what happened in Lafayette? No, I don't know.
Some home cooking in Lafayette.
Ooh.
They turned the lights off before the game was over when who was it? Little Rock. Little Rock was going for the game tie, game win shot, and the lights go off in the arena. I say lights go off. It was effectively like when we light it blue.
Light it red, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much lighting it red is what it was. But they did just was it 6 or 7 seconds that were left?
7 seconds left. The lights went red, and it got dark.
Right as they're making their shot, getting in place to get that either that 3-pointer for the win or the 2-pointer for the tie. Right as they're getting set up for that, lights go red. They do come back a couple of seconds later, take the shot, it bounces out, game over. Understandably, Little Rock head coach is livid. Refs are like, "What do you want us to do?" Like,
it's the Sun Belt. What?
Your job, preferably, but yeah. So
they just let that stand. Like they didn't
even stop the clock. They let it go. The whole thing.
That's insane.
So the Sun Belt did actually make a statement. For once, the Sun Belt actually said something.
Did they say oopsie?
They admitted that the refs were wrong. They admitted that there was an officiating.
Well, did they fine them? Because you're not allowed to say that.
Do we pay our refs?
I don't know. No, did they fine the Sun Belt for saying that? Because I don't think your teams are allowed to say it. Like your coach can't say that. I don't think.
Right.
Yeah. No. The Sun Belt Conference said it. So
they should fine them.
Fine themselves.
You're not allowed to talk smack about refs, man. The refs are never wrong.
The thing is, I think Tim, you may even posted this on social media somewhere that I saw. That what are you going to do though? So you're going to give the ball to Little Rock with that 5 or 6 seconds left,
out of
bounds to inbound, and now they're in a different position than they were. They're getting penalized. Regardless, they're getting penalized for what happened wrong by.
I think you give them 2 free throws.
A technical foul.
A technical foul on Little Rock.
Yeah.
Well, if you can get a technical foul on the coach for standing on the floor, then yeah. Why couldn't you get a technical foul?
That's pretty insane. Like, yeah, it's a pretty insane. What was it called? I don't know what it's called, but like when somebody who's not in the game steps into the game, that's what that is.
Like when our cheerleader got kicked out of the game, and
but that was awesome. Steve, that was awesome.
She was all over that.
It's not the officials that turn the lights on and off. It's got to be someone employed by the university.
Yeah, it's someone.
I didn't even think of that, Ryan. You're right. That should have been a technical foul on facilities.
Yep.
Guys, I just had my finger on the button. I thought 7 meant 0.
Honestly, somebody probably just bumped into the button and did something stupid. It probably was a mistake. It's fine, but like it doesn't matter. You change the outcome of the game. Like maybe, probably.
You don't know. I mean,
that's messed up. That's messed up.
Yeah, it is very messed up, and also if you went to social media, as you would expect, that trash from Louisiana, from Lafayette, Louisiana, are boasting their chest. They're beating their chest about the whole thing. They're boasting about how they won the game. Like they're proud of it. Like there was no like, man, that sucked. I really think that it went wrong. Like I wish the game could have been on the up and up, but no.
I wish we won it for real.
Yeah, they were like, beating their chest, thinking they're badasses for the whole thing. But Little Rock came back and beat the snot out of it. Well, no.
Nah, they won an overtime on Saturday. Yeah.
Was it over? Was it really overtime? 78-76 was an overtime score?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. At least
they split it. I don't know.
We got to get out of this conference. We need to be in a legit conference. This is garbage. Dumb. So that's up from last week. Nothing really. I don't care about other teams this week. Nothing really is fun.
We didn't play. It doesn't count.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the other Sunbelt games this week.
We didn't play. It doesn't count.
Oh, this coming week. I was talking about the
this we don't even know yet. I don't know.
Well, we don't care because screw them anyways. So as the standings are right now, since it's broken up by divisions, we're still we're tied for third place with Troy right now. But I mean, out of 5 teams,
we're number 3.
And Coastal and App are tied for first, of course, because Coastal's having the best athletics year of any program ever. Coastal.
So who are you dropping from our division since we only have 5 teams now?
Who did we drop? Troy went to.
No, you're probably dropping jumpers.
No, we got. We have 6. We do have 6.
Yeah.
Sorry, guess
you were just omitting Southern, which I completely understand.
USA got added to the East because of the West having to pick up the basketball schools.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, 6. It's hard because we have 2 teams tied for first, 2 teams tied for third, and 2 teams tied for 5th. So I saw 5. Forgive me. I'm sorry. You're right.
Get bonus points for COVID cancellations.
I mean, if you get, I don't know. I was trying to think of some joke about turning the lights off, but I got nothing.
David, next time get it right. That's all.
I'm not good at what I do. It's okay. So that's all I got with basketball. Other sports, women's basketball still has not played a conference game yet. They were on the COVID protocols the past 2 weeks.
They should be clear the rest of the season now, right?
Yeah, but I guess they still make the tournament, right? They still get to go to the tournament because all 12 teams. But they did reschedule the Troy series. They've not rescheduled the Coastal, they have Coastal this week. I don't know who the first team was. I guess it would have Coastal. They've got to reschedule Coastal as well.
Right.
So, good luck to them. Hopefully they can play this week. One thing that's kind of cool, I saw they came out, I think it was today or yesterday. They're going to acknowledge it's the 20th and the 30th anniversary of our first teams to ever make it to the NCAA tournament. The 91 team and the 2001 teams. So they're going to do a little recognition at the sports arena for those 3 teams, technically 2 men's team and 1 women's team. So it'll be kind of cool. I think it's at the women's team will be February 13th at the Georgia Southern game, and then the men's team will be acknowledged February 20th at one of the Troy games. So maybe they can't move those Troy games around because they don't want to move it around, but maybe we can find some people that went to those games to come on and talk about what it was like. In Idaho, watching Georgia State beat Wisconsin, I think.
Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah. We actually have another sport playing this week besides basketball. Women's track has a meet in UAB. I feel like whenever I look at the track stuff, it's always at UAB or like in Tennessee somewhere. There's a lot of meets or whatever they call them over there. So best of luck to the ladies over there. And that's all I got till last call, guys. What else you got?
Nothing.
Doing all three at once.
Well, I had that other thing to talk about, but I didn't know if you want to talk about it in last call or here because you're the host, and I just follow your cues, man.
Cool. I guess we can talk about it in last call then.
Sweet.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Hopefully next week we do have some basketball games to have talked about, and really hope that we're going to head on over to last call, drink some more, talk a little more Georgia State and whatever else at all. They'll be available free of charge Friday morning on our Patreon page, stateofatlanta.com/Patreon. You can subscribe. There's a way to subscribe to the feed on your podcast app, so you don't have to go look for it every time. If you are a Patreon member, a patron, you can get it for us immediately when it comes out tomorrow morning or this morning, whatever. Only $3 to subscribe a month. Please consider doing so we can help work on the show and get a few more things on here, like better hosts. So.
Ouch.
There's only one host.
I was thinking like bar. You're thinking hosts? I don't know.
There we go. We'll see.
Wow.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. Really, really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.